tools ready, then we create another pipeline, checkout repo, and then lint, do lint, and then do build. This is what we do in the actual project. But here I've combined all in one pipeline and kept it in a master pipeline that we call it as. Okay. Now let me explain this build configuration. Here, after executing lint, it should generate the build, right? What is our source code? What is
CMake.
our source?
CMake, sir.
CMake.
C, sir.
Lane.c, sir. Lane.c.
See, source code is C. Don't get confused here. Source code is C, and the build tool that we're gonna use is CMake. Correct? Correct,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Don't give the wrong statement here. Okay. Keep remember always CMake is the build tool. C or C++ or embedded C are the source codes. And Java. When we use Java, what is a build tool?
Maven.
Maven, sir.
Now we have used C is my source code. I wanted to build that. Before build, we need to do code checkout and the lint. That we have done it already, and that we archived it in the Jenkins dashboard itself, and we enable the fingerprint. Okay, and that's why we are able to see fingerprint is true. Now in the build configuration, I have started with the stage called build, and under the steps, so I have started with, for the debug purpose, have given over here running build with CMake, right? Running build with CMake means CMake itself is the build tool. To generate the build, I'm using CMake. So for your convenient, you can give any echo statement over here before starting it shell block. Okay, so this we completely we call it as shell block. Shell block started here and ends with here, right? Then what we have inside the shell block? If hyphen F, what is hyphen F stands for? What is
File
hyphen F?
exists.
It will check to
The
exist
file
the
exists.
file.
Finds the file.
Hyphen F is basically for file. It will check the file is existing or not. So CMake list.txt is our project configuration file. If it is exist, this statement defines the if CMake list.txt if exists, then do what? What I'm doing here?
Creating
Creating a
the
folder.
Into directory.
direct
Exactly.
Creating directory.
Yes. So mkdir-p with permission, create a folder called build, and then do inside the build and do CMake. Right? Here CMake is the command. CMake itself is the command. Okay, dcmake export compile commands on means do CMake with all these parameter with the existing directory inside the build folder, and make with jnproc is the command to generate the .bin and .elf. Okay, and do cp is the command to what? Copy the compile command .json to the build folder. Okay, I will show once the build directory is created, once this executed. Okay, so this is basically, it will create a build folder. Inside that creates the firmware.elf, firmware.bin, compile commands.json. Compile commands.json is the file which is created by the build system only. This is the set of command it has been generated for the CMake project, for the C project. This is the actual project that I'm using currently, one of the project. Okay, else CMake list.txt is not found, exit 1. If you provide exit 1, your script will be exited with error. If you provide exit 0, your script will be exited with 0 errors. Keep in mind, that is the reason we use exit 0 and exit 1. Okay, and now I've closed with fi, with if, and closing the shell block, and closing the steps is here. Okay, and closing the stage is here. Okay, now I'll have to Now I'll have to close what? I'll have to close.
Wait, close.
Okay, I'll have to close the stage here and one more stages and pipeline. Correct? This is for steps. This is for stage. This is for stages. This is for pipeline. Correct? So, see, going forward, our script will be lengthy because in continuous deployment, what we are doing integrating, we are integrating all the stages in one line, right? That's what we have the pipeline definition, correct? What is the definition for pipeline? What is the definition for pipeline plugin or pipeline?
Multiple builds
Multiple builds into single job.
Single job.
Exactly. So what we are doing here is what is our multiple builds, multiple stages, right? So stage one checkout, stage two prepare tools, stage three lint, and four will be build, and each stage will be captured by post, right? And if this is failed, if this failed, we call it as pipeline. Okay. Now we'll execute a build stage along with the existing one. So what the existing pipeline will do, it checkouts the source code, prepare the tools, and do lint again and post it in the Jenkins dashboard itself and generates the build, right? What is our output in C as source code? What is our output? What is our build? What is our binary? What is our binary for C source code? Yeah,
dot bin, sir. Dot bin dot
exactly.
exe.
Dot bin, right?
Yes,
Or
sir.
dot exe in case of C++, right? Dot bin or dot exe for C or C++, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now we should get what is our project name? The project name is, where is our project name? Our project name is here in the CMake list.txt. What is our project name? My firmware, correct? Along with the project name, what should be our extension? What should be our
Dot
extension? What we have in the
Dot
CMake
H.
list?
dot exe.
Dot B.
Generating dot bin from dot elf, right? Now what was the command that we defined? This, see, this section is will help us to create my firmware dot bin. So how it is creating, it will pick from the project name and it should create get this, we call it as binary, this we call it as artifact, this also we call it as what, executable, build, binary, artifact, all three are same. Okay, what is build? So build is executable in terms of .exe or .bin or .war or then 2 10 20. The job took how many seconds? From 13 to, from 13 to 29. The last timestamp is this. Oh, 740. It is jumped from 2 to 7. Okay, this is fetching the repository. Okay. So do you see the timestamp here? The feature, this feature was implemented by using this only. Auto configure for project one, and this feature, this timestamps. So you are able to see this in the terminal, the Jenkins terminal. Jenkins dashboard is from this only. Okay. Now let's go to build section. So in the build section, what I have defined here, if this CMake list.txt is present in the cloned repository, so what Jenkins will do, it will clone complete repository, right? Check out this repository. So it will all the folders, SRC, is everything, including web test, Terraform demo, everything will come to the Jenkins workspace, right? Now, out of that, it should check for CMake list.txt, right? If this exists, if this exists, create a folder called build, inside go inside the build, do CMake and do nproc, and then do copy the compile command.json. Okay, now let's go to server, inside the server. Okay, so we are in the server already. Let's run ls. What happened? Okay, meantime, let's go to the Jenkins logs itself. Here, here let's go one by one. Running lint checks, it is executing the lint stage here, right? And it is saying, it is saying total errors in the code is cat, when I do cat lint report.txt, because I'll be displaying in the dashboard itself. So the lint is saying there are no errors in the code and archiving artifacts, reading fingerprints. Okay, so this output will say, go to duplicate case. Okay, the output of this is archiving it in the dashboard itself. So how it, where it will archive it, go to project one, click on here. Do you see this lint report.txt and the fingerprint here? Do you see this report? This
Yes.
is
Yes.
what the Jenkins will keep all the data in the Jenkins itself. Okay, somebody wants to join or what? Okay, now, so this is what the fingerprint will created by Jenkins and the report. If you click on this, you will see the output. This is what we're getting from pipeline, right? Correct? Total
Yes.
errors 0. This is what we configured. This we call it as automation. To do this, you need to learn with Jenkins file completely by configuring all the stages end to end. Okay, if you click on this view, also you can see the same, because one is for fingerprint and the other one is for the report is get created. Okay, now let's move to the build stage. Running build with CMake, it checks the CMake list.txt, created the build folder, went inside the build folder, and it is started building it with, what is the compiler it is used? What is the compiler it is using?
C.
Right? We are
Compiler.
able to see in the Jenkins terminal itself. The C compiler identification is the version of compiler is this, and then detected C compiler and checks for working C compiler under this. Okay, because this compiler will be installed with default when we install a CMake. Okay, now detecting C compilers, configuring done, generating is done. Okay, build files has been written under /home ubuntu workspace project one and the build directory. Okay, correct. The build has been written here. So we'll go to this file path later. Now, soon after that, it is creating nproc and doing make. Okay, building C object with main.c, and here you were able to see the percentage of code it has been built. 50%, again 75%, and 100% built here. And then linking the executable myformat.elf. Build target is unit tests, generating .bin from .elf. Are we getting this, which we have in our, which we have in our CMake list.txt, generating .bin from .elf? This is the project configuration file, and according to this, are we getting this output, generating .bin from .elf? Build target myformat.elf, and copy compile command.json is also generated. And this is completely for the logs for build in the CMake for C project. Okay, now the pipeline status is success. Correct? Is it clear with explanation for the build in Jenkins log?
Yes.
Now let's go to server. This is connected. CD downloads. System will not respond sometimes. Yeah. CD downloads. Okay, I'm already in downloads. Let's log in. 13.71. Okay, now if I do ls, and if I do pwd, I'm already in /home/ubuntu. Okay, so where the build file has been written here, build file. And before running a unit test, let's clear all in the server. So whatever you creating in the server now, you do it with a fresh job. Okay, remove all from your workspace, remoting workspace and cache. Okay, everything you get deleted, you start with a fresh job. Okay, so now I have deleted with the server. I'll go to Jenkins again. So here I'm gonna do configure. Where is my project? My project is here. I will close everything. Okay, and I will close here as well. Now I'll go to configure again. I'll continue with the further stage called unit test. Okay, now length is done, belt is done. Now I'm gonna start with another stage called, because where your stage get closed, then only we'll have to open one more stage. Okay, so in this case, build stage will get closed here. That is the reason I have started here. Okay, now I have a piece of code to do the unit test. I will copy from there to here. Let's execute the unit test. Okay. To execute the unit test, you should be having a unit test code in the repository. So I will explain what was my unit test code. Okay. I'm going to copy the unit test code here after the build. Okay. This is my unit test stage. So what this will do unit test soon after generating a build unit test. So where our build get generated, which folder?
Build folder.
Build.
Which folder our build will get generated? Build only, na?
Yes, sir.
Guys, are you getting or
Yes, yes,
not?
yes. Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
sir.
To do the unit test, where should I go then?
Build. Build
Build
Ah,
file.
on.
build only, right? Because see, my builds are stored under the build folder, right? So I should go inside the build after generating a build. So this is happening on time. So once the see, I have cleared all the folders here, correct? And it will execute each stage from scratch, generates the build. Okay, generates the build, and it will go inside the build directory to execute the unit test and runs this command. This is a command to execute the unit test. Okay, ctest output on failure, test output -junit creates the test results.xml, and I've kept it as true. This is completely the Groovy command to execute the unit test, and post it should give the test results. Okay, and test results we can also see it in the server itself. I will show in the server. Okay, can we execute this from pipeline? Can we execute this from pipeline?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, so before executing, let's list all the stages that we configured from Jenkins. Okay. So what are all the stages that we configured? The very first stage is code checkout, correct? Code checkout, and then prepare tools, do lint,
Like
then after lint what? Build, and then
unit test.
unit test, correct? There are 5 stages that we created currently. Now let's execute this unit test from the same pipeline so that it should have all 5 stages in single pipeline. Means understand clearly, pipeline represents the integrating all the jobs in a single pipeline in a single code, that too in Groovy. Out of that Groovy there are 2 types, one is scripted and another one is declarative. The one we are using is declarative only. And suppose when we used scripted, we would have directly used node block here because we have started with pipeline block, correct?
Yes.
Now, okay, now let's click on save. Let's build, click on build now. So it should get created with the second job. Let's open the second job. Go to console output, and this is already in green. Now everything is same. Okay, it will clone the repository. It picks the Jenkins slave, the one you created, the one I created, and clones the repository here from this section. And this will install the required tools. Okay, no need to run this installation part. Once this is the one-time setup. Okay, we will remove it later. Okay, and this will checks the lint from the given source code and archiving it, and this will generate the build by checking the CMake list of .txt, and this will execute the unit test. Okay, so what is the output is saying? It is moving inside the CD. Is it moving inside the CD?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what is doing inside the build folder? It is executing
Yes.
this ctest command to execute, to build the unit test, to execute the build test, right? And the test project under this folder, and the start, the very first stage, the very first test is firmware unit tests. So where I have written, if I go to my GitLab account here, I will be having a folder called tests. Okay, this tests is to build the unit test. Inside this I have a again C code. This C code will be having only one unit test case, that too with function under test. This is the function this will execute when we run the unit test. Okay, the unit test is saying firmware unit tests. Just a minute, let's plug into the bar. Okay, so this is the firmware unit tests where we see this, we can see in the CMake list of txt under test folder. Don't get confused with main CMake list.txt and the CMake list.txt under the test folder. Okay, to do the unit test, I should get created with a separate folder called tests. Inside this, I should have a test main.c to execute the test, and test CMake list.txt to execute it. Okay, so what I have in my test CMake list of txt executes unit tests, right? Correct. And what, how I call this test CMake list.txt in the main CMake list? If I go to the main CMake list, I have enabled unit testing. Okay, and add executable under the tests as unit test. Under test folder, there is a file called test main.c. Here, this I have called in the main CMake list of txt and add test. And what is my test name? Firmware unit tests. And are we able to see this in the pipeline log? This is how you need to check end to end from the source code, either GitLab or GitLab, and the Jenkins logs. Are we getting this? Are we getting this output by this command as unit tests? Are we able to see this unit tests? Where it is? Ah, so here is the firmware unit tests that we configured in the CMake list of txt, and it is saying 100% tests passed, 0 tests failed out of 1, because there is only one function. There is only one function under test folder, that is this. It is executing it. Simple. Means we are able to execute the test from the pipeline, and total test time took is 0.01 second. You see test 1, correct?
Yes.
You were able to understand this.
Yes, sir.
And also the pipeline is success recording test results. So I will show where the test results will be get stored and where we can see this from server. Let's go to server again. Okay, do ls. Okay, it is created with the workspace. Go cd to workspace. If I do ls, cd to project, sorry, cd to project one, if I do ls. So where is the build folder? Build folder is here. Do cd to build. Okay, do ls-lrt. So what is the, see, even it is created for my format.bin, and what is created for test?
Testing.
Exactly.
Testing.
Do inside the testing, go in cd to testing and do ls, and go inside temporary, do ls. Okay, what we can see, there are two files, right? There are two files here. When I do cat last test.log, are we seeing this output? And 1 out of 1 is executed, and the command is this directory in this folder, and then output is all tests were passed. This is the output, and this is the results, test result, and this is the end of report. This you can copy and put it, and you can give for audit purpose in your project. For the given code, we are able to build the unit test, and we are able to collect the test report as well. This is what we can see it in the Jenkins logs as well, right? Are we able to see this? And the complete test report will be seen in the server only. Okay, clear with this? Clear for the build configuration and the unit test configuration. Any questions and any doubts? Okay, now what I will do, I will copy this complete Jenkins file from the job. Let's keep this in GitLab. Let's run it from the lab itself. Instead of keeping Jenkins file here, I will keep this in GitLab. I will do authenticate. Okay. Okay. And go to Jenkins. Okay. So what I will do, I'll do cd to ls to rm-rf, delete everything, remoting, workspace, entire folders. Now I'm gonna clone this repository to the local, clone the repo. Let's click on code, use SSH. You can use SSH or HTTPS, anything. Git clone followed by the URL of the repository. Now the repositories get cloned. To cd to pipeline. Are you guys observing my activity? I've cloned it. I have cloned the repository, right? Now I have a file called Jenkins here, right? I'll do code Jenkins file. So when you run this, why it is not opening? Jenkins file. Why it is not able to open? What is happening here? Oh, I need to install. Code not found. Domain. Oh shit. I'm in the server, right? I'll have to use VI only. VI. Sorry. So VI Jenkins file. Okay. Now, so this is the old Jenkins file. Okay. Now let's quit this. Okay. Let's keep it updated in the remote itself. Let's go here. I'll edit the file here only. I will create, else I will click on the Jenkins file. I will replace this whole thing by the existing one. Okay. And this I wanted. I will copy and keep it for backup. Just that is configured with SonarCube as well. This is for a backup. And the above one is for the one which we need to add now. Okay. So I'll copy this, Control C, go to GitLab. You can also modify it remotely, right? Edit single file in the main branch. I'm directly editing in the main branch, but this we should not do it in this in the condition level. Create the branch, and we need to raise a merge request to merge this to the main branch. Okay. Control A, Control V, Okay, now we have up to dated with Linux Git as a label, timestamp section, environment section, stages, stages, checkout stage, prepare tool stage, and then lint stage, posting it in the Jenkins dashboard, build stage, then and then unit test. Okay, now everything is up to date in a Jenkins file in the GitLab. Let's do commit here. Okay, updated updated Jenkins file for build and build and UT. We call it as UT, or let's keep complete name unit test. Okay, unit test. Now for the understanding of this particular commit, updated Jenkins file for build and unit test, right? That's what we have configured today's configuration, build and unit test, right? Let's click on commit messages. Now if I go to the commits again, so what was my latest commit? What is my latest commit now currently? Currently is with this the latest updated with updated Jenkins file for build and unit test, right? Now let's go to Jenkins here. Instead of pipeline script, instead of this pipeline script, I'm gonna give pipeline script from ACM. Means where is my Jenkins file present in the GitLab with a repository called pipeline E2E. Instead of from the pipeline script, if you select this, you will see pipeline script here in tabs. Okay, if you select this pipeline script from SCM, you can directly configure this repository in the Jenkins. No need to write the pipeline in the Jenkins itself. Okay, here you select Git in the SCM section. You give the Git repository URL. What is the repository URL? Click on code. Click on repository. Select the HTTPS or SSH any URL here, copy here, and select the credentials for GitLab that you created for GitLab. Yes. And what was the branch? What is the branch?
Main branch.
The main
Right.
branch. And what is the script path? What is the file name that we have? What is the script path name?
Project and
Jenkins file.
What is the script path name that we have here?
Jenkins file, sir.
Correct, right? This is what the script it should execute it
Jenkins.
from Jenkins. Means it is default Jenkins file only. And let's you're able to understand the difference between from SCM. Now let's configure it. And we have provided the branch. We have provided with the script path as Jenkins file. Click save and just execute build now. Just click on build now. So the third job will get created. Okay. We go to the third job we have from the project one. So it is running. You click on this, you will see the output of all the logs. So are you able to see it? Similar output only you got it. Only that we changed the configuration in Jenkins. You are able to understand this. Go through the Jenkins log each line. Don't leave any line. Don't leave any dot in the Jenkins logs. This will help you in your future, in your career. Okay. You understood about the Jenkins configuration for, if you click on configure, you will see the configuration that you made in your job. Okay. You go here, you will see the pipeline script from SCM. You selected Git and you provided the repository, you provided the credentials, you provided the branch, you provided the Jenkins file. So this is what the actual configuration that we do. Instead of having this pipeline script directly, we will use this pipeline script from SCM. Clear for everybody?
Yes.
Any questions and any doubts, guys? These things are very important because this is what we do in the actual project. We join the organization. Okay, so what I will do, I will share this test folder. Inside this test, is it possible to fork this repository from my account? How to keep this account as public? Edit the profile. Anybody know? Edit profile. Oh, not here. Wait.
Settings, sir.
Go to the, yes. I'll go to project. Uh, where is my projects? My project is here. Go to settings. Under settings, repository. Repository protected under general. Avatar, I don't want to keep. Run.
Visibility, sir. Here.
Okay. Visibility. I'm not able to keep it as publicly. Everyone access. It is in private only. While creating only work. Users can copy the repository to the new project. Yes. CICD, wiki, snippet, each. I'm not able to keep it as public. Choose. Okay. Anyways, I will share this test folder. So you need to have the test folder to be created. Inside that, you should have CMake list of txt of test, and then test main.c, and remaining CMake list with an code enabled test in Jenkins file. Okay, so I will share this CMake list of txt Jenkins file. The very initial step is test, and then second file will be CMake list of txt, third will be Jenkins file. Okay, execute it from two method. One is from the pipeline script. If this works only, you can keep it for pipeline script from Jenkins. When we go this pipeline script from Jenkins is when you execute it thoroughly from pipeline script, you will keep it in GitLab. Otherwise, you will not do it. Clear? So this will help you to keep your updated, keep your working Jenkins file in GitLab, right? Along with our source code. Clear for everybody? Okay. Any questions and any doubts, guys? Okay. Let's configure rest of the stages from Jenkins. Else, let's move for the project. Let's build one Java project. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do it from tomorrow's session. Any questions from anybody? Any doubts? Nikhil. Nikhil. Okay. Any questions from anybody? Any doubts? Yes.
In the script, you have exported some path, no, sir. What is that path, sir?
Where is it path exported?
In the lint section, I think.
Lent. ಈ ಥರ ಡೌಟ್ಗಳು ನೀವು ಗೂಗಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ರೀ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಪಾತ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? .local.bin. I'm exporting it directly to do the lint. Simple. Export means wherever we used export path, I'm runtime variable ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಇದು. Okay, runtime variable ಗೆ $path means if this wherever I call $path, it picks this path to execute the lint. I'm exporting it. So similarly, you can also use this export path in your shell script, in your Jenkins file, whatever the configuration that you do, you can do it this export.
Can we set any path as export path for the link?
You can set it according to your requirement. Suppose if that export path is really required to execute this stage, you can set it, because to execute my lint stage, I should be get exported this to execute my lint stage, because dot local the binary bin represents always binary, right? Binary of what? Binary of the lint that we installed it in GitLab about here.
Okay. So that is a default path, right?
Yes, default path.
So if it's a default path, what is the need for export?
Sometimes each stage required the exact path
It
because
has
Jenkins
to
looks
take default, right, sir?
where we define the path as CMake lint. So here we are giving a direction to pick this path particularly. So Jenkins looks for multiple paths.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes it might it might installed in other path, not the default one. So what is our default path for the tool installation?
That varies, no, sir, like tool to tool.
Varies, right? Varies, depends on the build, depends on the command, depends on the configuration that they configured from their end.
Yes.
Now the lint part is installed with this local and dot bin, and the bin directory. Just a minute, please. Okay, clear with this point.
Yes, sir. Then this
If it is
pipeline is
default,
only.
1 minute. If it is default, if it is getting the right path, then fine. No need to set this export for a path to execute lint. But if you are getting the error that you got to know that it is looking for the lint path where it installed, you can set this.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Okay. Any questions? Any other doubt, Dhananjay? See,
No,
ಈ
sir.
path ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋ ಥರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
Yeah.
ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೈನ್. ದ ಒನ್ ನೀವು ಆಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೈನ್. ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, see, you worked on it and you understood thoroughly. Here is a catch, right? Here is a catch. We have Jenkins file configuration. Do we need to run this prepare tools all the time?
Uh,
Right?
Not required.
I want
Yeah.
these kind of doubts from you guys. Because, see, the prepare tools is one time setup, correct?
Yes.
So we have already done it. Can we remove the pipeline
No.
from the Jenkins file?
No.
Yes, sir.
Why?
If you install already,
Because tomorrow, if we change the agents, there will not be having a pre-install these tools, right?
Why
So
we
that
need?
time it is required.
Okay, that is the case if it is required. But why we need to change an agent? Let's keep this permanent until our organization will exist.
Suppose that some hardware issue comes with the agent, means it goes down, no, sir.
That is why we monitoring. Na? We set a cron tab. If there are any CPU on the memory reached, we'll nullify it and we'll delete. That's what the monitoring team, the SRE team works, right?
Yeah, monitoring part will be there, sir. But sometimes if you lose that Jenkins agent itself,
Mhm.
that time we have a generic script so that we can run in any other instance.
Yes. So we can keep this, but not in this pipeline. We can keep another pipeline for preparing tool. Every project should run that first at once, then executes the stage, because the prepare tools and all the configuration stages will not keep it in one file, because currently for your understanding purpose, so how this project works behind and in the organization, the organized way should be configured. We need to configure it with an organized way.
Yeah, in
So
one other case means like when we use containers as agents, so
mm,
containers will come down and up, right? So that's
yes.
why it will be very useful because in our organization we use containers as agents.
Mhm. If that is a case, you we can keep this for prepare tools.
Yes.
Means what I'm trying to say here is these kind of doubts I wanted from you guys, because you need to think on logical way. And this lint will do is what this lint will do and what is the post and how this will create in fingerprint and lint repository, right? Okay, anyways, any questions and any doubts, guys? This is completely groovy. This is enough for groovy for your understanding purpose. That's it.